Conscript services.
Horrible.
Like
Hitler.
Hello guys, I'm Choi. I'm Korean.
I'm Finnish.
Yes. I've been living in Finland for about like 11 years, and then I've had like a group of Finnish friends, and we have this trip to Korea in June, and I think like my Finnish friends have like a lot of curiosity about Korea, which is why this is the reason that I'm making this series of videos as sort of like a boot camp for my Finnish friends to get to know about Korea. We're gonna make at least like 12 videos, including this one, and so we're gonna cover all different sort of like kinds of topics. Like for example, from now on, for example, this some reviews of Korean movies and like talking about Korean culture and some similarities with Finnish culture, and some like Korean memes. So our reactions about like Korean memes and such. We would like to talk about something that, based on my 11 years of experience in Finland, I'll find some of like a lot of actually similarities. However, in details, there are many differences too. So we're gonna talk about these with some guests. As the first thing to talk about is the similarities and some differences too. Because like the similarities, Korea and Finland both, we have Conscript. Basically, we have military services as a duty for guys. That's the similarities. And I served myself in Korea like from 2004 to 2006 for 2 years in the army, and then these guys as well. But Eero, you're a new guy, so could you introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Eero and I'm Finnish as well, like Antti.
Right. Yeah, but then, because like, I mean, I might be wrong. That's why I invited you guys, because like you guys can tell about like Finnish military service in more detail, and then also I can tell about Korean military service as well. But then, okay, what is the kind of like what is the period of time you have to serve military service as a conscript? And then, what is your experience? Could you tell about?
Yeah, minimum is 6 months.
Also, I heard that also it depends on your specialty. For example, if you're a driver, then you may serve a little bit longer, and then your education period is a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's true.
For us, like for me, it was like 2 years time. But then these days, I think because we have like Army, Navy, and Air Force, 3 different kinds. But then it depends on for example, the Army is shortest, but then the Navy is next, and then Air Force is the longest. And then as a conscript, we are basically starting from private, and then you are finishing your service as a sergeant. These days, I think, for example, the Army service is only like 1 year and a half for us, so it's kind of getting reduced little by little. But then, what about you guys' roles?
Well, I'm like a radio operator for the guys who go in the forest and spy on other people.
Alright.
Yeah. I'm medic and I put bandage to the people who get hurt.
Okay. Because like, for example, I was a supplier, and then in the army, and then basically, I was taking care of like counting those the military materials and then stuff like that. Also, I was taking care of like food as well. We have like a separated sort of like tracks. For example, if you're just conscript, then you are just like starting from private and then finishing your service as like, if you want to work as but higher ranks, if you want to join as a higher ranks, for example like sergeant or officers, then there are like different tracks. Because like, you need to apply for that as a professional soldiers, and then go through the education. Or like if you want to be an officer, then you need to either go this maybe this academy, or while you are in university, there's special kind of course so that when you graduate from university, then you serve the army, which is like which is long, depends on the programs. But if you are serving as like sergeant or officer, then it's generally longer than normal conscript service. Also, this is more like kind of you are enter the track as a professional soldiers. So if you wish to stay in the army as a professional soldier, then you can basically serve your service. Reserve force, this training, once you finish the service as a conscript, then like up to for the first 4 years, you need to participate the training, like which takes normally like 3 days of training. But then, so for first 4 years. But then after that, at least like for 8 years after you finish your service, you are part of this reserve force. After that, you become like this civil defense force, so that you are basically, you know, keeping your neighborhood safe. Until like you are still kind of participating in some kind of training. But how many years you finish your service?
It's already 22 years since I finished.
So it's been 22 years since you finished your service, but then you are still participating in the training.
Yeah, and I still, well, technically I'm still like obligated to do it for another 18 years until I'm 60. It does depend on like the role, and and I guess maybe a little bit on the rank as well. But if you have like some sort of a specific role, like for example, some guys might have this really key technical role in some department, so then they would be keeping those guys on for a longer time.
So it's like if you're sort of like kind of valuable asset for military, then you may have to participate in the training for a longer time. For example, in Korea, women also can join the military, but then they can only join as a professional soldier, like either from sergeant or officers, but they cannot really join as a conscript. Because like it's not their duty. But then I heard that like in Finland, women also can join military as a conscript. Is it like true?
Yeah, I guess it started sometime around the year 2000. That was when the first women went into the army as conscripts. Like we had one woman in our team as well. Back then, there were only like a few women in the whole company, so they had their own room. But I heard that nowadays it's just like a mixed room.
When Korean guys get together and then when they are drinking, they always ended up with military talk. But what about Finland? Like, what about you guys?
Not anymore.
Yeah, I guess when you're like, in your 20s, maybe 30s, then it's like still like such a fresh experience that most people have shared. So that's something that comes up definitely. Especially if you're meeting like a larger group of people who you might not know that well. Well, there's usually always the same shared experience about the army and
yeah. So you have this some kind of common topic, so it's kind of sort of like become really good icebreaker in that way.
Yeah.
What kind of things you're talking about, like about military then? Is it like something? Because for example, that during this military talk, guys are like basically exaggerating things a lot. For example, they said they've hunt down some kind of wild boar which is size of a car or something like that.
Yeah. It's always like people have to come up with like a more terrible horror story about the army. Like, yeah, like our like sergeant used to beat us up with a stick, but yeah, our sergeant had 2 sticks.
So it's like 1 stick is not enough. Our sergeant has 2 sticks. So my army time was harder than you. It's like, yeah, that's exactly the same kind. Like, because we are sort of like competing each other's stories. Okay, who's serving the hardest?
Wild boar? Did you actually fight a wild boar?
Oh, but no. That's sort of like what's that? This urban legend stuff, like military legend in a way. But because like I was serving in the center of Seoul.
Oh
so
yeah, so not that many.
I only saw like people. DMZ line, like front line, and basically that's the place where those numbers came from. The holidays, for example, because like in my time, I served like 2 years basically, but then I only got 40 days of holiday time within 2 years, including the weekends. But then what about Finnish army? Finnish military?
I think you would get like
basically every weekend if I remember right.
Yeah, I think not everyone.
Not every, but basically.
Yeah, and I guess
Nowadays, at least it's like that.
I mean, sometimes you would even get like a whole week, and
Yeah.
sometimes you would end up being stuck there for like a month or something, and then you would get like a week of holiday.
Then what about the civil service? Because like I heard that Finland has this kind of alternative options.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want if you don't wish to kind of like serve in the military, then you can choose like civil service, which is longer. But
Yeah. 13 months.
Guy, a friend of mine from the university, he went and did like civil service in some sort of book printing agency. I guess it was like a government agency because it could, yeah, I think those are often like government, like some sort of some stuff that benefits the society.
yeah. Actually, was it allowed for you guys kind of using cell phone while you were serving? Conscript?
When the duty is over, you can use, but not when you are marching there or using guns or anything.
During your free time you can use your cell
Yeah,
phone.
in freedom, yes, you can use.
Like, for example, when I was serving 2004 to 2006, that it was not allowed to have any cell phone, so that's why we couldn't really have. But then what I heard is like these days in Korean army, Korean military, that you can have also cell phone as well. But then so you are allowed to use during free time. We are talking about sauna, which is one of few Finnish word used in all over the world. So then I've heard like there are like about 3 million saunas, which is like the Finnish population is only like 5.5 million. So that basically you guys have like one sauna per less than 2 people. And then also what I heard is like you have basically every house has like sauna. What do you think about like sauna basically? Because like as far as I know, you guys are sort of really big fan of sauna as a Finn.
Yeah, actually I didn't used to like do a lot of sauna like earlier, but nowadays I have my own sauna, like a tent sauna, and oftentimes it's always in the trunk of my car when I want to go and put it somewhere. So yay, sauna.
I think guys like sauna more, but of course some women like it too. And in winter time, it's very lovely to have sauna. I don't have, but he has in his building.
Yeah, common sauna downstairs.
Okay.
Every Sunday we go there.
Alright.
So yeah, that's true. We have a lot of saunas in Finland, and because it might be because we have a lot of lakes as well. So every lake has a lot of saunas as well around the lake.
Yeah, people go first to sauna and then swimming.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's summer or winter, but they do it.
In Korea, it's like sauna is generally the meaning is the public bath. So that basically it's like spa here. Public bath, like we have this hot water and then you soak in there, but then also there are like a couple of those saunas as well. But then in Korea, it's just like in the sauna you're not allowed to throw any water in the stove because like some kind of safety reason.
How's the sauna itself like? Is it like a steam sauna or a
Oh
dry sauna?
yeah, it's more like there are like 2 different kinds of sauna normally in the public baths. It's like there's one dry sauna and then the other one is wet sauna. I think, but in Finland, typical type is dry sauna, and then you just throw the water and then there's the whole basically the steam. But then in Korea, basically in a dry sauna, you are not allowed to throw water, so it's just hot. But then this steam sauna is basically a holy sauna. It's like basically wet sauna. I'm sure like when you guys in Korea in June, I'll introduce this Korean version of sauna, because like we have a facility called like Jjimjilbang, which is like there's also this public bath and sauna in it. But then as an extra, there's like common place that you are wearing shorts and t-shirts. And then there are like many rooms, for example, like salt room and cold room, or like really scorching hot rooms with like different kind of effects. First, like those different stones, for example, like germanium or some crystals and things like that. So people believe like it kind of emits some kind of like healthy, like waves or whatever. Also, you can sleep there as well, so that it's kind of overnight. So that it's also pretty cheap, something like 10 to 20 euros to get in.
You can
So-
do that in the Finnish sauna as well, but you will just...
Yeah, but then that reminds me of this the sauna competition, you know, couple of guys like
Yeah.
severely injured or died. Facilities, for example, you can have your food or drinks. There's like sort of bars and restaurants there too. What do you think about this Jjimjilbang concept, for example? It's like, would it be really weird for you guys? Like,
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, like, normally, like, Finnish sauna experience is pretty basic. You just have the sauna and the lake, and then you sit on the porch outside of the sauna having a beer.
mhm.
So there's not a lot of like this spa culture.
Sauna means public bath. We have this body scrubbing service.
Oh,
They're basically scrubbing your body so that you know your dead skin is getting off, and then if there's, I think, pretty like refreshing after that, but it might hurt.
Yeah.
Then also,
With some machine.
no, it's just there's this towel,
Okay.
a special towel, and then they're kind of scrubbing it.
oh yeah. Like,
You don't even need to know like Korean because like they don't really talk. It's more like they're kind of giving you a sign like this means like you turn around the body. First like you basically lie down like on your belly, and then they do like on your the back part, and then they give a sign, and then means turn around. After body scrubbing, and then we go this common place and with our shorts and t-shirts, and then trying like a couple of rooms and you know having some this fried chickens and with draft beer.
oh yeah.
That'll be
So,
a
hey.
pretty cool experience.
How's that?